The hypothesis. Through research and video interview experiments, we intend to discover whether human beings are capable of detecting deception in others by reading their nonverbal cues. The experiment. To put it simply, our experiment consisted of interviews and analysis. We each wrote interview questions of a general nature to stimulate the most authentic responses from our partners. After participating in the interviews, we reviewed our interviewees' answers and thoroughly analyzed their nonverbal behavior. The nonverbal behavior we analyzed focused on eye behavior, facial behavior, vocal behavior, hand gestures, and upper body movement if present. For this analysis, we hoped to definitively determine whether our partners were revealing the truth or telling a lie. During this video presentation, you will first be introduced to the members of Group 2, and each group member will explain why they feel that they are capable of detecting deception and what nonverbal cues they intended to focus on. Next, you will see actual interviews and analysis of each group member. For the sake of time, we will only show the full analysis and full interview of Krista and Courtney so that you are allowed to see our process and the full extent of our experiment. The remaining interviews are slightly abbreviated, but we encourage you to participate with us. So at this time, if you can, pause the video and grab a pen and a piece of paper and see if you can beat Group 2 in the human lie detection experiment. Further instructions to be provided later in the video.
Before I knew what clues to look for when trying to spot a liar, I looked for what I thought was the most common lying clues, like no eye contact being made, looking in a different direction than who that person is talking to, and looking down to the ground when answering a personal question. Well, it turns out that the lying eyes is a myth. It's harder to spot a liar by only looking at someone's eye movement. The only way I thought I could tell if my daughter Morgan was lying is when she answers me really quickly and talks very fast. Well, it turns out that most liars have to think about what lie they need to come up with, so a pause can indicate that a lie is most likely going to be their answer. Look out, Morgan. Mom can spot a liar now.
When detecting a liar, I believe that it is very important to focus on the nonverbal cue of vocal behavior. I do believe that people have a very difficult time disguising the truth or lie within their voice and how they deliver their words. So I definitely intend to pay attention to my partner's vocal behavior. I'm also going to be incorporating the other nonverbal cues, eye behavior, facial behavior, body language if possible, but I definitely believe that I'll have that edge if I focus on the vocal behavior of my partner. Hopefully I'm correct.
Okay, to catch a liar. Since I work with kindergartners, I think I'm relatively adept at being able to pick up when a youngster is lying to me. They will tend to avoid eye contact. They will also go straight to the blame game, say, oh, it's so-and-so's fault, or so-and-so started it, whatnot, and that kind of thing. So, but as adults, I think we get to be a little more skilled in our art, shall we say, of deception. And I think that's a little more difficult to pick up. And people that you know, I think it might be a little bit easier because you know their cues, you know their mannerisms, you know their tones and different influxes of their voice and that kind of thing. So you can kind of tell maybe a little bit better. So it'll be interesting to see what I can tell from these folks that I don't know.
Okay, everyone, we will now be presenting the full interview of Courtney Sanders as well as Krista Lord's full analysis of Courtney's interview. It's not time to start participating now, but we would like for you to take note of Krista's full analysis and explanation of Courtney's nonverbal behavior so that you may apply these same principles to your analysis in the 2 remaining interviews.
What is your full name?
My full name is Courtney Joy Sanders.
Question number 2. Where do you live?
I live in Marina Del Rey, California.
Question number 3. Are you originally from there?
No, I'm not.
Question 4. Where would you move if you could?
Alaska,
And why would you move there?
because my boyfriend lives there.
Question number 5. Do you want to get married and have children?
Yes, I do.
And why do you?
because I believe that family and making a family is truly being successful, and making wonderful, productive children, raising them and loving them. That's what it's all about, not money. So definitely kids and a husband.
Question number 6. If you walked into a room of strangers, how would you approach someone?
I probably wouldn't. I'm pretty shy, so I would usually, if I had to, I would try to make eye contact with somebody that is just as shy as I am, and hopefully start a conversation from there.
Question number 7. Do you enjoy watching comedy type movies or dramatic type movies?
I enjoy comedy. I love to laugh, and so definitely comedies. The more slapstick, the better.
Question number 8. How do you express your emotions?
I usually cry. I usually cry when I express my emotions. But it depends on what it is. With the emotions, is it like anger or just any emotion, right?
Just any emotion.
Yeah, I usually just go ahead and give it a good old cry out.
Question number 9. Are you sensitive to others' weight issues if someone came to you for help?
No, I'm not.
And question number 10. What is your economic status?
I would say I am middle class. Not poor, not rich, just somewhere in the middle.
Question number 11. Are you a morning person or a night person, and why?
I am a night person, and it's because I really, really, really enjoy the quiet of a house and a neighborhood that doesn't have anything going on. It's dark, it's kind of moody, and I'm a very artistic, creative person, so I like, more moody scenes versus happy, cheery sort of things. I like, a little bit of ambiance of the darkness. So yes, I like the dark.
Question number 12. How many social media friends do you have?
Approximately 700 or so.
Question number 13. Are you a Republican?
I am a Republican.
Question number 14. What sports teams do you like?
I prefer the LA Dodgers. I really do like baseball, and it's a really, really, really cute players there. So yes, I am a LA Dodgers girl.
And question number 15. What types of books do you read?
I prefer romance novels, all about the love. So I do like a good romance novel. Did you catch those nonverbal behaviors? Krista did, but was she correct? Let's watch her analysis.
When viewing my group partner Courtney's video of the answers she gave me on the questions I asked her, I looked for some clues that I have researched on how to spot if someone is lying to you. These examples are examining her hand gestures, seeing if there was any fidgeting. I looked at her facial expressions like her smile and her mouth movements. I looked at her body movement like her arms and her posture. I listened for her vocal pitch and if there was any pauses. And I wanted to see if there was any inconsistencies in her answers with the follow-up why or why not questions I asked her. For question number 1 and 2, Courtney had little movement, so I believe that these 2 questions were truthful on her full name and where she's from. For question 3, Courtney did a little eye roll and fidgeting with her hands, so I believe that she was lying about not being originally from California. For question number 4, she did the same smile and same movements as questions 1 and 2, so I believe she was telling the truth about wanting to move to Alaska, and her follow-up answer was responded right away. For question number 5, when I asked if she wanted to get married and have children, she looked up with her eyes, did a little eye roll with a little head nod, so at first I thought she was lying. But then when I asked her why, she explained herself really well, with little hand movements while looking at the camera, so I changed my mind to that question as being truthful. For question 6, Courtney fidgeted with her hands in her bracelet, and her first part of her answer had drawn out words, so I believe that answer to be a lie about how she would approach strangers. For question 7, her answer about what type of movie she likes was very straightforward. There was no body movement, so I believe that answer to be true. For question number 8 about emotions, Courtney did a little laugh after her answer, and she barely made eye contact with the camera, so I believe that answer to be a lie. For question number 9 about weight issues, Courtney made a little movement with her mouth and smiled at the end of her very quiet answer with no elaboration to the follow-up, and she moved her head down a little bit, so it's almost like she felt bad about what she was saying, so I think she was lying through her answer. For question 10 about economic status, she did a slight pause. However, it was not long enough for me to believe she was making up the answer, so I believe that answer to be true. The only thing that I second guessed myself on was when she said middle class, she kind of said it with a question mark on the end, like she was not too sure she wanted to say that. For question number 11, Courtney made a good connection with the camera with just a slight hand movement, so I believe her when she said she was a night person. I focused more on the elaboration to her answer that she gave me without me asking for that follow-up question. For question 12 about her social media friends, Courtney did a pause and came up with an approximate number of friends. I believe that most people know about the number of friends that they have, so I think she exaggerated a little bit on the number, and the fact that it was a very large number of social media friends that caught my attention. For question number 13 about being a Republican, there was good facial connection and no body movement. However, she tried not to laugh after she said her answer, so I believe that to be a lie. For question 14, there was no body movement, no head movement, and she came up with an answer right away, and no pauses, and no reason why she definitely a reason why she liked the particular sports team, so I believe that answer to be truthful. And for the last question, number 15, there was also no pauses, good head connection, no body movement, no forced facial expressions, so I believe that answer to be truthful on what type of book she likes to read.
Now it's time for you to join the fun and use that pen and paper you have in front of you. As mentioned before, the remaining interviews and analysis are slightly abbreviated, so what you have to analyze are just a few selected questions and answers of the interviewees, Krista and Cassandra. Please determine for yourself whether the interviewee is lying or telling the truth based on your analysis of their nonverbal behavior. At the end of the interview, the answers will be given and you can compare your percentage of accuracy to the accuracy of the Group 2 member who analyzed their answers. Good luck and have fun!
Question number 5. Have you ever gotten into a physical fight?
Oh, totally. Cat fight, pulling hair, the whole bit.
Question number 6. What is your favorite junk food?
My favorite junk food would have to be one of those funnel cakes from the fair, with the strawberries and the whipped cream and powdered sugar and all that.
Question number 7. If you could avoid paying taxes and never get in trouble, would you avoid paying taxes?
Mm-hmm. Totally. Who wouldn't, right?
Question number 9. Are you a great singer?
A great thinker?
Singer.
Oh, singer.
Sing.
Oh, I'm fabulous.
Question number 12. Are you a full-time OSU e-campus student?
I am not a full-time e-campus student.
Here are the answers pause the video to check your accuracy. By analyzing Cassandra's vocal behavior as well as her other nonverbal cues, I believe that I'm correct when I say that she lied on questions 5, 6, 9, and 12. That leaves number 7 as the magic truthful number. In her voice, she seemed confident when answering this question. There was no searching around for the answer. She seemed focused. Her facial expression seemed rather relaxed and assured. She didn't seem to be searching for the answers. For the other questions, her voice fluctuated. She seemed to be searching for the answers with her eyes. Her mouth moved and tweaked a little bit. So I believe on questions 5, 6, 9, and 12 that Cassandra was untruthful.
Number 5. What is the last personal item that you purchased for yourself?
The last personal item I purchased for myself was a brand new car.
Number 6. Have you ever been to Disney World?
Yes, I've been to Disney World.
Number 7. What is your major?
My major is psychology.
Number 8. If you had the choice to cheat on an exam and pass or not cheat and fail, which would you do?
I would definitely cheat on an exam to pass.
Number 9. Have you ever cheated on an exam? Why or why not?
No, I've never cheated on an exam.
Why or why not?
It's just unethical.
Here are the answers. Pause the video to check your accuracy.
When it comes to the personal item, when she was talking about the car, it seemed like she kind of shifted around more, and so I'm not so sure that that one was truthful on there. As far as Disney World, that one seemed pretty straightforward. No extra blinking, shifting, that kind of thing. Also, as well as her major, she seemed to be straightforward to me on that one as well. And as far as would she cheat when it came to passing the test or not passing the test, would she cheat if it meant that she would pass the test? She said she would, but the way she acted, the way she looked down and it wasn't just straightforward an answer, seemed to me like maybe I don't think she would. Also coupled with the next question, have you ever cheated? It was a quick response with a no. Then she kind of took a moment to evaluate why she wouldn't cheat, but that to me seemed more like it was just a thinking moment, a thinking pause where, well, what is that reason where I really wouldn't? It's the difference between the correct thing to do and the wrong thing to do and that kind of thing. So I think that she was being truthful on whether or not she's cheated, that she has not.
The conclusion. Despite the fact that we were able to determine whether our partners were being deceptive on some of their answers, we were unable to transform ourselves into human lie detectors. Our text states that people who claim to be able to identify liars with high accuracy are lying to you or to themselves. But this does not mean that nonverbal cues are not valuable assets to determine whether someone is being truthful or not. The problem with human beings is that most of the time when attempting to be deceptive, they speak in half-truths. This means that part of their response may actually be the truth, which makes it very difficult to determine whether they are completely lying or telling a whole truth. During our experiment, we were actually pleased with our level of accuracy. With nearly 70 to 80% accuracy, we feel that although we were unable to turn ourselves into human lie detectors, it would certainly behoove us to pay attention to others' nonverbal communication, and we encourage you to do the same. Thank you for your time and patience. We hope that you enjoyed this video presentation.